during one of my lectures dun sa UM, sa school. So
Okay.
I did a short workshop actually about manual rendering. So I was invited to present and demonstrate actual how manual rendering is done during our time, and even still adaptable and still efficient until today. So what I did, pinakita ko sa kanila yung proseso natin na it still works, it's still effective. At saka ang disadvantage lang noon sa kanila, kung though it's not too late, is tayo kasi, sabi ko, sa generation natin, lahat tayo magaganda handwriting.
Yes.
Kasi we practice that. We live with that. You know? And then, ang kantsawa noon, pag pangit ang handwriting mo, hindi ka architecture.
Yeah, correct.
Diba? Oh.
Correct.
Wow. Kasi yung handwriting mo, Jong, pati handwriting ko, similar yan. Ang stroke.
Yes.
Diba?
Kasi isang libro lang tayo eh.
isang basic exercises lang pinaggagawa natin.
Yes.
Diba? Oh, so pare-pareho talaga, similar ang ating mga handwriting. So yun ang difference ngayon ng mga bago. So, they were all amazed kasi nga doing the manual sketches, no? Which is they don't usually do na anymore kasi they totally rely sa computer na. So sabi ko, during sa actual practice, clients still manage to appreciate even more if you do revisions right in front during the meeting. You don't have to tell the clients give me a few days, I'll be back. I'll do the revision. Kami, no, it will help you more and give you more and gain you more respect from the clients if you can do that easily on actual during sa meeting, yung mga revisions through manual sketches and manual drawings na gagawin. So regardless kung nasa papel yan o nasa computer, you can easily do that. Hindi yung sabihin mo, give me a few days, I'll be back.
Huli ka na.
Huli ka na, di ba? So that's why I always tell them na it's never too late to practice manual sketches, manual rendering, because it will still help you, no? Especially during sa actual practice na ng architecture.
Okay.
And then be a better person, no, compared to the one who you are yesterday. So be a better person always than tomorrow. So
today I'm catching up with an old classmate and a friend, architect Salvador Saldi Mascardo. Welcome, Saldi.
Yes. Good day, everyone. So good thing I was invited, and good to catch up with you again, good friend Jong. Happy for you.
It's practically like ilang years na, 2005. So parang 20 years na, Sal. Can you believe that? 20 years na magkita.
Not to mention, uban pa dito sa school pa talaga. So it's been a long time.
Oh, yes, yeah. Mga ano sa man to, mga 90s, late 90s.
1992.
Kanusa ba mo nag-graduate?
Well, on record, 97 ako nag-graduate official. On record. Okay, I was in college for 9 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so kasi working student man, so that's a very common situation man sa atin before, di ba? Working student. So then irregular student man ako. Most of the architecture student mga irregular man yun, trabaho, eskwela man, kasagaran, di ba?
Yeah.
But it took me 9 years to finish everything.
Wow. Magulang lang ko, or I'm just ahead of you 1 year. 10 years ako eh. Hanggang nakathesis ako eh.
Trabaho.
Yes.
Mas grabe man mo, nalingaw mo kasi mong trabaho. Good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, before we will dive in, Sal, can you tell us more about your growing up? Just a brief introduction for, who is Saldi Mascardo?
I was born and
But,
raised sa Tagum City.
okay.
But then yung mga ninuno ko, yung mga lolo ko, tatay ko, talagang galing Kawit, Cavite.
Okay.
So we are a direct descendant ni General Tomas Mascardo.
Oh, yes.
Tatay siya
Yeah.
ng lolo, tatay siya ng lolo namin. So si General Tomas Mascardo was yung ni General Emilio Aguinaldo, para siyang right hand.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Kasi may kilala din kasi akong Mascardo na taga Luzon eh. So taga Cavite pala yung original niyan.
Sa Kawit.
Kawit,
Sa Kawit.
Cavite. Alright.
Yeah. Then napunta ako ng Davao nung nag-college na.
Okay.
Till dito na rin nag-set up everything.
Yes.
Sa Davao. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Well, I started really, as you know, a working student when we were still in college. So talagang sikap at saka sunog kilay talaga yun.
Yes.
So after that, I immediately took the exam, and then gladly, just nakapasa naman. So wala naman ding yung other way. Kung wala ko kapasa to, di na po kabalog, maka-exam pa ba ko, kaya wala naman yung budget.
So nag-review ka sa Manila?
Sa Manila, and then tawag dito, the review was supposed to be 6 months. Ganun na sa atin noon, di ba? 6 months. But then, since I'm still working with one subject sa school, nung pag-assess kasi na meron pala akong isang subject na miss out, that was Sociology 1.
Wow.
So it's a first year subject offered only second sem, second term sa UN. Oo, so wala akong other choice but to take it kay basig di ko ma-declare officially graduate kung di rin ako tumakuha. So I enrolled that subject in transition ang school from Bolton campus to Matina campus. So dito na sa Matina campus i-offer na subject. So I have to travel from downtown to Matina.
Yes.
Lisod na ang biyahe sa una.
Yes.
So pinagtiyagaan. So wala akong other choice kasi I have to take the exam by June. So ang review starts at January. So nag-enroll ako sa Manila na review center January, even nasa Davao pa ako. Kaya officially mahuman ang klase March pa. So January, February, wala ako dito sa review, pero I have a friend na pinakiusapan na to get all the modules na intended for me. And then musyagit lang siya og present pagtawagan akong pangalan. So by March, after the final exam nung last subject, Friday, pagka Sabado, nag-prepare, pagka Domingo, biyahe ng Manila, and then Monday on that same week, nag-attend na ng first day ng review classes.
Wow.
So practically parang 4 months lang ang review and then exam na. So catch up lang talaga. Yeah. Then since recession man ng 1997, so I have took the exam and passed the board 1997, and then hindi masyado maganda introduction nun sa practice kay economic recession ng Asia ng 1997. So medyo mahina, wala talaga halos project. So instead, I focus on kung saan tayo medyo present rings. So ang mga clients was actually architects who likes to have a presentation rendered in watercolor, in opaque, in airbrush, ganyan.
Yes.
Able to set this. So from then on, dahan sikap lang hanggang sa naka-establish ng office talaga with the circle of clients na by then. So, until the year 2024, I was elevated to College of Fellows.
Oh, I didn't know that. So sa UAP yan, not sa PIA, no?
So you, hindi, CP. So I was
Okay.
elevated to College of Fellows. So out of the 250 nominees, we were shortlisted to 50. And then ang pumasa, conferred to elevation to College of Fellows was 20.
Okay.
And
So what category?
I was in the design category.
Okay. Yeah, like professional practice, no? Or no?
Yes, professional practice, private
Yeah.
practice sa design.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yun ang category ko. So
So when was this? Kailan ito?
2024.
Okay.
2024.
So every time you will join UAP, tawag nito mga convention,
Convention.
nakaano kayo,
So, nakatoga na.
nakatoga na palagi.
Yeah,
Kulang
so
na lang
you're
yung
wearing the
baston,
yung
no?
gold baston, and
Yes.
then should wear the official medallion.
Yes, congratulations on that.
Every time
Sandy.
thank you.
Kaya
It was
ganun pala ako dito.
was actually surprised kasi I was one of the youngest during our batch.
Yes.
I was one of the youngest. So I was 52 then. Yeah, so I was really happy kasi madalas mga na-elevate sa College of Fellows, mga senior na ba yan?
Yeah, senior
So
na.
I was, kasagaran. So
Hindi naman kaya na dalada sa yan sa mga imponto singing ko merit talaga yan, merit based talaga.
merit based yun. So
No,
based
just kidding,
on
biro lang.
based on presented significant projects based on number of years of practice.
Yes, practice, yes.
So preparation ng dossier, no? And then kasi ang kaibahan nito with other deliberation, unlike with thesis, you have to be there, not to defend and being interviewed. This time, everything should be submitted to the document. So the document should be well presented accordingly.
Yes.
Sa ilahang tawag ito?
Panel.
Yes, oo. So they will evaluate you through your dossier presentation.
Yes.
With all the necessary documents and tawag yung endorsement from from clients.
Okay. So since we're talking about being elevated as fellow in the UAP organization, talk to us or relate to us or discuss to us what's your design process.
Design process. Actually, it's all basic. The way you do it is all the same thing that I do. No? Yun man yung nakasanayan natin. I still use this, the triangular scale, the pencil. No? I don't do so much work sa computer. Okay, dili kay ko daga-enjoy. Di ako daga-enjoy sa process. So, I always have these sketches, freehand sketches.
Okay.
So, like this one. So, site development plan, I still have my tracing paper.
Yes.
I still have my tracing paper.
Okay.
So, sketches are very essential to me. So, yun yung nag-free sa aking mind. I tried yung computer, pero nag-stuck up ako if makalimutan na ako ang command.
Okay. So na-transition, no?
So pag nakalimutan ko yung command, wala na. So nag-iinit ng ulo ko. Ano pa to nangyari? Hindi ko na magalaw, di ba? So I go back still dun sa the usual thing that we do. Freehand sketches, free of mind for any other computer commands. No? Purely concept flowing lang siya talaga. Then up from that, no, if the computer has these layers na sinasabi, like we have layers also manually. So layers of tracing
Yes.
paper on the other hand, you come up with a very good design concept na. And then I still do manual perspective
Okay.
for conceptualization.
So, parang safe to say na Architect Mascardo is an old-fashioned architect.
I'm proud to accept. Yes.
In spite of this ongoing, computer, what do you call it, powerful
Technology and everything.
generation.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Meron lang konting adaptation about instead of doing the manual plotting ng perspective, di ba? Ngayon, so what I do, once na na-plot na yung floor plan, so pinapa-sketch up ko yung box ng building sa stock
Parang
ko.
massing,
And then massing lang, no?
Yeah.
Out from that massing, I choose my angle and then ipa-print and then overlay ko na ng tracing paper again. So out from that, medyo na shortcut na yung proseso, diretso na ako perspective, diretso na ako conceptualization ng ano. And then once I come up with an acceptable design idea for me, then pass ako na sa production.
So when did you start doing a professional practice or yung nagsarili ka?
Yeah, that was year 2000. And
Okay, 2000.
Yung Fear.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you still number your projects kung ilan na to date?
Well, yung company profile was around yung na-prepare namin na company profile so an inch thick. So
Mga ilan na?
At least an inch thick, 1 inch thick.
So ang dami na
those,
yan.
but then those are selected projects pa printed over for the parang book coffee table like
Okay.
na company profile. And then
Can
we
you-
establish.
Yeah. Can you name 1 or 2 projects na you really like it? Yung parang gustong-gusto mo talaga? I know you don't have to be biased, pero I know there's something more to that project than any other project. Kahit na sikretong ano na lang, either commercial or residential or I don't know.
Residential is always a challenging design.
Yes.
It's always a challenging design problem kasi you have to consider your client's character, lifestyle,
Yes.
even yung personality. It should be all reflected doon sa layout and design ng bahay niya mismo. So it's always a challenge. Kaya hindi lang ikaw ang nagtanong sa akin yan. One of my clients asked me about that book, which one daw. Pero sabi ko, my idea of doing designs and projects has always been doon sa concept na whatever I do, this is my last.
Yeah, okay. It's always the best.
So if this is my last, I always have to at least do my best. Okay? This is my last. So every time there's an opportunity, that's always my last. So I guess kung mga na-design ko before, and it's always a good design I did during that time. So there's always improvement, man. But it's good if clients really accept that the idea without major revisions. Okay, that's the best part na nagiging acceptable kaagad yung design concept sa client. So it's always a thinking. It's always a thinking to me na kung meron mang chance, I always do my best kasi that's my last.
Okay. That's a good tawag dito, defense, na this would be the last, so I have to do best. All right, so yung typical day mo, how does it look like? Like, what time do you wake up in the morning? Either, are you a day person or a night person? Ano bang typical day ng architect Saldi Mascardo?
Kasi may dadagdag na ngayon kasi I went back seriously dun sa aking pinakagustong gawin, yung mag-paint. So,
Okay.
so uh, I usually up by 6, 5:30 or 6. I have my
Oo.
coffee by that time. So, first hour sa morning, nasa site ako mga 8:30, 8:30 nasa site na ako. So, tapos usually by noontime or before noontime, nasa office na ako. So I do my design paperwork, everything sa office from lunchtime onwards.
Mhm.
And then if I can be home by 6 or 7, at least it's a good time for me na makapaint pa ako pagdating sa bahay. But
Okay.
I don't bring office works na anymore sa balay. Before I always do that, pero hindi ko na ma ma ma-delineate yung kung kailan ako magpahinga at kailan ako mag-stop kay magsige na
Oh,
naman
yes.
trabaho. So stressful na siya. So that's
Mhm.
why I came up with ayoko na ma-feel uli yung ma-burn out, no? So too much of work.
Yes.
And kahit pilitin mong maka-design ng magandang idea, pero pagod ka na, burn out na. So hindi mo na ma-beat yung deadline, hindi ka na maka-come up with a good concept kasi
Mhm.
sagad-sagad na yung oras eh. So that's why I decided maybe it's a good time for me to go back to painting, watercolor
Mhm.
painting. So every time I have a hard day, a long day,
Mhm.
yung freehand painting is a good relief for me sa pressure
Yeah.
and stress.
Yeah,
Wala rin yung
yeah, I would agree on that talaga.
di ba?
Yeah. Lalo
So
na
no
yung
technical
watercolor,
lines.
no?
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So I have some few, and then I've been into the group na, yung Davao Watercolor Society.
Oh,
So we
okay.
established that year
Mhm.
2014.
Mhm.
So ako yung president ngayon for
Uh-huh.
3 years na.
Marami din kayo. Ilan ang members niyo sa
Uh,
watercolor
we
ano?
we have 25 members
Okay.
local Davao.
Okay.
And then
So,
we represent at international. Ang Davao Watercolor Society is representing International Watercolor Society, IWS. So
mm,
Davao, Mindanao, I mean. So yung
yes.
IWS is composed of some other watercolorists all over Mindanao
Mhm.
as a member.
I don't know if you know by chance by the name of Gilbert Miraflor.
Kasama kami sa group.
Kasama kayo, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Si
so
Gilbert.
he's a friend of
So,
mine.
yeah. So
Yeah.
magkasama kami sa watercolor group sa DWS. So
Okay.
yung DWS, Davao Watercolor Society. In fact, meron siyang opening ng kanyang
Yes, yes.
solo
Kahapon
exhibit
yata?
today. Kahapon. Yeah.
Kahapon.
So bisita ko unya sa kay
Mayo,
Brad.
mayo. Say regards to him. Sabihin mo na
Yeah.
siya yung isusunod kong interviewin.
Okay.
So other than arts and architecture, what other activities or that makes you inspired, like your ano pa ba yung mga ibang wag na lang yung kasali yung mga karaoke o mga yung mga lang yung mga physical do you play sports or ano ba yung mo?
Well, before I was into airsoft, no?
Okay.
Airsoft games. So nakapoy naman si Uncle. So nag-stop na.
Yeah.
Pero it's
Balikan ko yung uncle na yan unya pag umanuong tubag.
Tapos I'm still an active member until today sa Camera Club of Davao.
Okay.
So we're into monthly competition ng photography, and we go to other online and actual photography competitions, especially sa mga festival all around Philippines, no? So, and then I'm a member of Davao Koi Club.
Mhm.
It's it's a group for yung koi grooming and competition.
Ano yan, yung mga isda, ganun?
Japanese koi, yes.
Ah, yeah, Japanese koi. Okay, oh.
Yeah, so we have those imported bloodlines from Japan, and then we groom them
Wow.
for competition.
Grabe. Ang dami mo palang mga extra curricular. Hindi pa kasama yung mga big bags mo, di ba?
Well, ano lang yun, pang stress relief, pang stress relief lang yun na weekend activity. So I'm a member also ng HOG. It's HOG. It's a Harley Owners Group Davao chapter.
Okay.
So sa HOG, we have the subgroups. Ang subgroup ko is yung Rogue One. So kasi pag dumadami na kayo sa grupo, kailangan mong magkaroon ng intimate group na mas tropa mo talaga, 'di ba? Para maiwasan yung away at saka yung misunderstanding within the big group na. So we have these subgroups. Kung kanino kahiyang makisama, kung kanino kahiyang sa mga ugali ng mga kasama mo. So less tawag nito, misunderstanding kung ganun siya na idea.
So ma-prevent yung mga drama-drama,
conflicts, ma-prevent yan kasi doon ka man sa grupo mo talaga, sa katropa mo lang.
Yes. So looking at you, Sal, medyo talaga filled up talaga yung calendar mo, yung mo eh. Do you still have time for your family then?
Oh yes, of course. Always.
May ilan ang anak mo?
I have 2 sons.
Okay.
2 kids. Yeah, it's 23 and 14.
Okay, malalaki na din pala. Yeah. Wag mo na ako tanungin na kasi ako na ang pinag-uusapan hindi na anak eh.
Dugay mo nagpadakop si Uncle, dugay nagpadakop.
Oh yeah, balik ka na to ng uncle ba? Unsa man na siya kanang asa man na nauso, kanusa man na nauso, brag permintin ako makita ba sa mga architect sa Davao, uncle gina uncle.
It's actually part of the generation. Kasi tayo mga 90s, na tayong mga mga batang 80s and mga batang 80s.
Yes.
Diba? So instead, too young to be called too old to be called kuya. Diba?
Yes.
And then too old, too young naman to be called manong. Diba? So tito.
Okay, makes sense.
Tito siya, tito. Okay. Matured enough to be called tito. Diba?
Yes.
Pero since namata sa Davao, so the word uncle was adopted, especially sa mga grupo. Diba? Sa mga kaedad mo, sa mga generation mo. So tapos madalas instead of calling you the whole word uncle, ang iba call yung mga batian, yung mga greetings, kumusta ka call, ganyan. So once na tawagin kang call, you call them back uncle also.
Para dili lang po ikaw ang
damay-damay na rin.
Damay-damay na tayo.
And then siyempre from one group to other group, naririnig yung gano'n ng mga biruan. Everybody calls uncle na.
Yes.
Kaya mga batian ngayon, kumusta ka, call? Parang
gano'n. Uncle, kaya uncle po tawag mo.
Balusay na lang.
Kaya paghawa na ako sa Davao ng 2005, bago pa ako kanumdong magtawag yung kinana pa.
Pangalan pa yan. Madalas apelyido pa, di ba? Apelyido.
Yeah.
Oo. Diba? So, apelyido. Pero ngayon, yung trending, everybody calls uncle.
All right. So, is there anything you want to talk about we haven't covered yet?
Well, I don't know.
Final word for those who are aspiring to become an architect or to become an artist.
During one of my lectures dun sa UM, sa school, so I did a short workshop actually about manual rendering. So I was invited to present and demonstrate actual how manual rendering is done during our time, and even still adaptable and still efficient until today. So what I did, pinakita ko sa kanila yung proseso natin na it still works, it's still effective. At saka ang disadvantage lang noon sa kanila, though it's not too late, is tayo kasi, sabi ko, sa generation natin, lahat tayo magaganda handwriting.
Yes.
Kasi we practice that. We live with that. And then, ang kantsawa noon, pag pangit ang handwriting mo, hindi ka architecture.
Yeah, correct.
Oh.
Correct.
Wow. Kasi, yung handwriting mo, Jong, pati handwriting ko, similar yan. Ang stroke.
Yes.
Diba?
Kasi isang libro lang tayo eh.
isang basic exercises lang pinaggagawa natin.
Yes.
Diba? Oh, so pare-pareho talaga, similar ang ating mga handwriting. So yun ang difference ngayon ng mga bago. So they were all amazed kasi nga doing the manual sketches, no? Which is they don't usually do na anymore kasi they totally rely sa computer na. So sabi ko, during sa actual practice, clients still manage to appreciate even more if you do revisions right in front during the meeting. You don't have to tell the clients give me a few days, I'll be back. I'll do the revision. No, it will help you more and give you more and gain you more respect from the clients if you can do that easily on actual during sa meeting, yung mga revisions through manual sketches and manual drawings na gagawin. So regardless kung nasa papel yan o nasa computer, you can easily do that. Hindi yung sabihin mo, give me a few days, I'll be back.
Huli ka na.
Huli ka na, di ba? So that's why I always tell them na it's never too late to practice manual sketches, manual rendering, because it will still help you, no? Especially during sa actual practice na ng architecture. And then be a better person, no, compared to the one who you are yesterday. So be a better person always and then tomorrow. Paano yan, sir? Paano mo na-achieve yung ganun kagaling na pag-render ng watercolor? Sabi ko, tatlo lang. Ito talaga, sir, tatlo. Ano yan, sir? Sabi ko, una, practice. Pangalawa, practice. Pangatlo, practice.
Okay.
Practice ka lang naman, practice.
All right. So on that note,
yes.
Architect Saldi Mascardo II, thank you so much for taking time in my podcast. So
all right.
I hope to see
Happy
you soon.
Be here.
Architect.
I'll be seeing you
All right.
soon. I'll be seeing you soon. Thank you.